Vision Quest recap day 2. So the day 2 was the first full 24-hour day for Mena's Vision Quest and for me back at camp. The day started out like any other day. Got up, did your morning routine, went and had breakfast. My friend Beto took me into town because I wanted to charge up my battery pack that I'm keeping this phone charged with, and just stroll around town a little bit. He took me to town through the path in the forest, the trail, instead of walking on the road, which was maybe a half mile further and just out in the sun. Going through the forest was obviously a better experience all around. And once in town, my dilemma was getting this battery pack charged, which charges ridiculously slow. I don't know what's going on with it, but I wound up leaving it at a convenience store behind the counter charging, and went to a few coffee shops, as you probably saw in those videos. And once I was done with that, I made my way back. Beto left me. He had to come back and tend the fire. So I was, a gringo on his own in the village or in the town. And coming back, walking back through the forest, got turned around once. It crosses some fields, some grazing fields for cattle and stuff like that. And there's multiple paths. Ran into a few people on the route. One of them asked me if I was a gringo. And, well, yeah, I'm a gringo. So, did my best to talk with those folks and came back. And once I was back, a little bit of trouble happened. Unbeknownst to me, apparently you're not supposed to leave the Vision Quest grounds once you're here, because they do this cleansing of you when you come in here the first day. And, if you leave, you bring back bad energy, and you need to be re-cleansed, and you're not supposed to leave. So I was taken to Abuelo Tata, who's the main dude, and they explained what had happened, because I just went into town to have some coffee and see things and charge my batteries. And he's like, all right, just don't do it again. And so I was slapped on the wrist and sent back down the hill. But the problem was I'd left my battery in town. So I made sure to make sure that Abuelo Tata knew that I needed to go back in a couple of hours to try to get my battery, which he gave me permission to do. So did that, came back, and as I'm walking back through this trail, I noticed these plants all through the forest. And on our first trip down, I noticed that there was a guy out in the forest, and it looked like he was tending something on the side of a hill, some crop of some sort. It's coffee. There were coffee plants all over the damn place through this trail. So got some video of that. So this is coffee beans, a coffee plant. Never seen that before. I just was walking down the path here. There was a bunch of the stuff all through here, and I guess this is somebody's field. And I bumped into a gentleman who I saw coming down. I'm on my way back up now, and I asked him if this was coffee, and he said yes. So I've seen coffee on the plant now. Very cool. Really interesting. Came back, had dinner. There's plenty of food here, man. They're feeding us really well, and it's good, A word on the Vision Quest, because most people that are going to watch this video, that are at least my friends, won't really grasp the concept. It's a very spiritually religious thing for the people that are here doing it. I've learned this myself. I mean, it doesn't look much like it, but it's almost like a church here for them. They're varying degrees of seriousness about that attitude as well. You couldn't just come here and do this. I don't believe anybody that thinks they can would succeed in that. There's a guy that already came back yesterday on the full day one. And he's a guy that I've known of for several years. He's in this community. He knows what a vision quest is. This wasn't just something he thought of doing. But, you know, if it's just not your time, it's just not your time. I mean, you're out there alone with nothing, with nobody, and just your thoughts and your meditations, and those are the things that are going to get you through. And you can imagine, you know, what that might be like. And it may not sound difficult, but it's a challenge, I'm sure.